Hello everybody, welcome back to Formula Sprint 2. My name's Toby Davis. I'm joined by Alex Foulkes from Singapore, the Marina Bay street circuit in Southeast Asia. Singapore, obviously one of the highest GDP per capita countries in the world, and they produced this fantastic 19-corner racetrack for us to enjoy tonight in Formula Sprint 2. It used to be 23 corners, but they have cut out a very irritating section that went underneath a stadium, which has made the track significantly better for overtaking, and it does play a part in setup choice as well. So you can choose high or low downforce for certain sections of this track. Majority of cars will be running much higher downforce than they have been recently at the slipstreaming arenas that were Monza and Baku. And of course, Marina Bay Street Circuit is held at night. So we will be under the light for this evening. I'm joined by Alex. And Alex, there's rain on the cards. And when is there not in Formula Sprint 2?
I swear some hex has put some curse on FS2 where we get rain almost constantly. As people are actually putting on the wet tires for qualifying, and there are drops of rain here and there. So yeah, I'm pretty sure at this point that we are in fact cursed, and honestly that intro was less AI generated than I was expecting it to be. So
I write them every time. He says this every time. I literally write them myself.
No. Because the previous two, they felt AI generated. This time it was actually natural, you know? It was normal.
What do you mean?
Every time you come out with some random fact, and if it's going to be like Barcelona where it's tell me a fun fact about Singapore, if you have one ready, I will.
Well, I did. I already said. I said the one of the highest GDP per capita countries
Is that
in
it?
the world.
That's all you have?
During World War II, Singapore was occupied by Japan. Did you know that? And then it returned to British rule.
I did not know.
Yeah, there we are.
Interesting.
It's a tax haven as well, like Monaco.
Yeah, that tends to be where most street circuits are. Like
I know,
Jeddah, Singapore.
Well, either countries with oil money or tax havens. Yeah, shows the sort of where we are as a sport generally. Racing. It's kind of
money
rich. Money. Some drivers out there on dry tires. We're looking at one here. This is M Matthias Wittmann. I think they may have put their first name in twice or something. I'm not sure.
No, it's Mark Matthias Wittmann.
Why would you put all of your names in?
Because that is their name.
It's not hyphenated though. Well, like it's Carlos Martin's name is not Carlos Martin. He's got a surname. He's got two surnames, like that Spanish tradition. Ayrton Senna de Silva shows that probably slicks aren't the choice right now.
Yeah, probably not. Just a good point. We are starting actual laps now, so we can talk about racing and not interesting facts about Singapore. So we can talk about interesting facts about this track. This is turn 1. There's 3 corners actually here. That second one doesn't really count. It's flat out anyway. And it's a tricky braking zone into that turn 3 section here. And Micah's struggling a little bit on the throttle, so that should be a bit of a representation of how wet it is. It doesn't look that way. It just looks slightly damp. I say that as he slides into the wall.
Yeah, I mean, there is like some dry patches obviously underneath the bridges. The rain falls completely vertically in our Factor 2, so you can see where there are dry patches because of bridges, etc. But it can get very wet in Singapore generally. It's a little bit of a, as he does a bit of a skateboard-esque trick over the curb there and just bottoms out completely. This will, if it doesn't rain much, dry up significantly as the session goes on, so keep an eye out for that. Micah is our championship leader, leads by 10 points from Patrick and Magnussen after a really, really good round for Micah. He won the first race and, of course, finished second in race 2. Micah has not been off the podium since the Silverstone round, the British round. Can you believe that? Third, second, first, second. That's been Micah's last few rounds. So he's really, really on it at the moment. And with only, 6 races and 3 rounds to go, he is looking the form man to complete the title charge.
Yeah, obviously it's what was it? Round 9 was Silverstone, so 10 consecutive races of complete podiums, which is honestly quite impressive, and it's a good late title charge from Matusz Majka as we got to Mika Hakimi, who is going fastest in the first and second sectors, and will be the first to cross the line out of anybody or just beaten by Majka with 55.258. And yeah, I think this is going to be close here between the KV86s and the Optimal of Majka and even Ockenhaug here potentially. They were very close in the practice session, so it should be interesting in the race, provided we don't have a 2017-esque situation into turn 1. It's not out of the question with FS2, and nothing is out of the question with FS2, all things considered. So yeah, it should be a pretty interesting race, and here's Capelli actually racing for his own team, which is a sign, something we haven't seen for a couple of rounds now.
Yes. Yeah, I think Taras has moved up to Formula Sprint 1. Certainly seems a semi-permanent fixture at Lunak in Formula Sprint 1. So I think Apex obviously got Scapelli in that car for this round to fill that slot. Magnus Ockenhaug has had an up and down season. He obviously won China? Question mark. I think it was a race 2 at China. And of course he has had a few podiums this season, but equally has had the odd round where he's been absolutely nowhere. So he's hopefully for his sake, he's going to be a bit more on it today. He and Craig Patterson fighting away. I think Patterson probably has that one sealed, but for third in the championship behind Magnussen and Majka now. So as we head into the final 3 rounds, we will start talking about the championship just that little bit more. Majka 5/10 up in the middle sector. That will be because he hasn't done a bit of a toboggan over the top of that curb this time around. So Majka absolutely going to go to the top of the timesheets and improve his time. Actually, he's already in provisional pole. Part of that is that the track is improving, and further 2/10 up in the final sector as well, as he does a 54.4.
And yeah, that's quite a bit faster than the next car. 9/10 almost to Amala, who also has had a bit of a upsy-downy season where there's been races where great performance and then races where it's sort of, you know, not awful, but on the lower end of the points.
Yeah.
Nonetheless. And yeah, it's been interesting to see how different drivers have evolved throughout this season, and especially with Majka, who started out relatively tame, but then just got into an insane rhythm of just constantly having great pace, no matter the track. And that's showing true here under the light and the rain of Singapore. Of course, Singapore's coastal, indicated by the Marina Bay name. So yeah, it's not uncommon to see the rain here, and it should do some stuff during the race, provided it stays. I'm not calling for a crash, but it seems like every time I say something about a crash, it tends to happen. So I probably should not have said anything now.
Well, I mean, it's it being at the Marina Bay circuit does highlight the fact that it's literally next to where the weather can come in, which is why we do occasionally get the odd shower here as well. Mike Bell is driving alongside an old friend of mine, Eric Strana, today in Smile Power Racing. Eric has been around just as long as Mike and myself in sim racing. I remember racing against him in 2012-13, which kind of shows how old I am, because there's some people who were probably like 3 or 4 in 2012 and 13, yeah, who are currently racing on this grid. So that's how old I am.
Should we change subjects? Ockenhaug went second.
Feel free.
I think he's about as old as you, surely.
Who? Ockenhaug?
Yeah.
How is Ockenhaug as old as me?
I don't know. I don't actually know how old people are in this grid. It's just Ockenhaug always, like, I don't know, seems aged.
Older.
Yeah.
Here's Mark Matthias Wittmann. I think I'll from now on call him Wittmann. Interesting. It is interesting that he's got both his first names in there. Obviously, very important to him. I apologise, Mark Matthias, if I spoke out of turn. But Wittmann driving for GPVWC Academy. I believe Caitlin Penny was supposed to be in. Oh no, she's now driving for Excellion in
Excellion.
place of Jörn Dix, it looks like.
Yes. Mena was telling this to us before, and I do have a message.
Yeah, so do I.
Oh,
I just
no.
haven't read it.
I saw the message now. That's horrible. So, there's a couple of reasons that Mena has put alongside the replacements, one of which I won't mention. But yeah, that was a funny conversation before the podcast started. Unfortunately, I don't think we're allowed to tell you much about it.
No, I will say Penny is in for Dix for the rest of the season, so there we go. So Excellion have gained Caitlin Penny.
And they've lost Jörn Dick. And David Yunt is ill.
Yeah, but he's flaky.
Well.
He's one of the flakiest drivers I've ever met. He doesn't do a complete season ever. So yeah, I like David. I shouldn't say David. David Yunt is again someone I've raced with for a long time and used to be part of THR back in the day. But
Back in the day.
back in the day, yeah, we're talking like 2013. But yes, he doesn't often finish a season. Mika Hakimi improves to P3 for KV86. Who is his teammate? Who's Hakimi's teammate today? Oh, Magnussen. Of course it.
You know, the second driver in the championship.
Oh, no, yeah, gosh. You can tell I haven't been here for 2 weeks, have you?
Oh yes, Magnussen, the teammate of Mika
I
Hakkinen.
know, I'm so sorry. That was the stupidest thing I've ever said. Here's Tice Youngstra, and for 01 Esports, driving around turn 1 and 2's, just finished a lap and has put himself in 12th place. Here's Andrea Chinaglia. Well, that's a surname I've not practiced before the broadcast, which was brave. But
You haven't pronounced broadcast before the broadcast either.
No, I know. What more like. Andrea is deputising as well. Craig Patterson, P3 in the championship, currently 13th on the grid in qualifying. Will be looking to improve this if he can.
Although I think the rain has gotten worse based on the lap times that we're seeing.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to say on our on our monitor that we're watching. To be fair, as to how bad actually the rain is at any one point. Are there any splishy splashes of rain going on? I can't really see any. Okay, there is some rain apparently.
I don't see it.
It does reflect nicely on the cockpit, on the halo and stuff, if it's raining, so you can see on Craig's car, yeah. But the stream quality that we watched compared to what you see is a little different. Look into the clouds and you see it.
What are you seeing there, Vincent?
It's a ridiculous sentence.
Like, what are you looking at, my friend?
He's asking us to be weatherman for the day and just like, look into the clouds and you see the rain. Very poetic, thank you, Vincent.
We can count the pixels on our screen. I don't know how you expect us to look into the clouds and see if there's rain within them.
I know. He's let's just make our own radar system as well while we're at it. Here's Duamala on a green lap, which means this will be his personal best if he has sorted himself out in Sector 3 as well. Believe it or not, he hasn't actually improved. He's still at P4. So Tuamala for Cap Clay with Junio Lopez as his teammate. He's down in 12th at the moment. Lopez we saw battling away in Monza a couple of rounds ago. No one's really on a good lap, which is why we don't sound that excited about what's going on right now. Here's Capelli going around the last couple of corners. Very tricky, I'd imagine, in the wetter conditions that we're currently experiencing these last two corners. Crosses the line, goes P9, so a couple of people are improving. That's good.
You have to consider, though, that everyone behind Swilo will get a free place as he's got a back-of-the-grid penalty. And stop it, Toby. It's not funny.
Svilo, unfortunately for him, I think his head fell off at the last round by the looks of the report. And I think he will probably have learnt his lesson about that and will mind his temper somewhat a little bit in the future. He's young, and a lot of drivers are young. And it's good that GPVWC have recognised that and somewhat considered their penalty as such. I won't go into the detail of what happened, but wasn't Krista's finest hour. But he is here. He's racing. He has a chance to prove that he is, able to control his emotions a little bit more. Here's Magnus Ockenhaug, who's done a green middle sector, so with a good final sector could get closer to Micah's time. He's only 0.3 off of the minute. Not a good end to the lap though, and it does look like the track is not in a great condition right now for those lap times.
Yeah, looking at everyone's lap times, it doesn't seem like most people are improving or able to improve to what Micah's got. I mean, Micah himself is setting 56.0s, and I say that Craig Patterson is purple in the first sector. He's improved by 0.02 of a second, and still 2 more sectors to go, and the understeer just looks absolutely horrible through what used to be the infamous Singapore sling. That was a tricky corner, and I'm honestly glad that they got rid of it. Ooh, bit of a snap of oversteer into the entry of the is that like the bridge hairpin? I'm sure it has some silly name.
It's the Anderson Bridge.
Know.
It's the Anderson Bridge. It's called turn 13.
Wow.
Not that exciting.
Wow.
Yeah, sorry about that. Sorry to disappoint. He's heading
What a
into
letdown.
I know. He's heading into 16 and 17 now before the final 2 corners, which are actually named, by the way, corner 18 and 19.
I don't know how that counts as 2 corners. Craig Patterson's going to cross the line, and he moves up to second, displacing Ockenhaug. Right at the final hour. Ockenhaug is improving, though.
So
it must fast second sector.
So the rain must have stopped briefly or something like that. The track suddenly, look, there's a dry line appearing. So suddenly the times are tumbling. Here comes Magnus Ockenhaug through the last couple of corners. Can the Norwegian usurp Craig Patterson, or even Micah, his teammate, at the very top of the timesheets, goes P2 for Optiminal. Clutches that lap right at the end. Is anyone else on a lap? Svilo is P5 currently. Magnussen's out on track. Is he actually on a lap though? He is, but not incredible. Might be able to improve his time though. That final sector does look a lot drier than it did earlier in the session. Depends if their tyres are still in it. But yeah, there's defo a dry line as he goes through the final couple of corners. Whoa, Batchka! Gonna cross the line. Do you know what? P8.
He improved, and that's...
yeah, he improved fractionally. But threw it all away in the last couple of corners. He probably lost 3 or 4 tenths there.
It looked great, though. So that's
yeah,
that's what important, right?
Yeah, bit of a drift, bit of a Travis Pastrana style drift through those last couple of corners. As Petal is jumping on my head, which is very unhelpful.
On your head?
Yes, she's above me on my... Can you stop? She's above me on my racing seat, scratching her claws. Matusz Micah takes pole position for Optiminal. Magnus Ockenhaug P2 with Craig Patterson for priority 1 in 3rd. Mikhail Turmala 4th place. Mika Hakimi in 5th with Christos Filos 6th in the end. Yunus Karala in 7th. Patrick Magnussen 8th. Eric Strana returning to GPV in 9th. And Domenico Scabelli in 10th place. 11th on the grid is James Knox with Ben Skinner behind him. Junior Lopez, Thijs Jongstra, Babi Vokunov, Philip Chervinsky, Danny van der Neet deputizing in Apex, Charlotte Menink, Andrea Chinaglia, and Shimon Kanda rounding up the top 20. 21st is Wittmann with 22nd Dexter, 23rd is Rotiav, 24th Lepit, P25 is Caitlin Penny with Victor Silva, Mikhail Falkenhayn in 27th, Osama Kanani in 28th, Mihilo Vicentievich 29th, and Mike Bell probably has done 0 practice in 30th. And 31st is Josh Flynn, a name I've not seen in Formula Sprint 2 before. Welcome, Josh.
I do recall.
Don't tell me he's raced 3
Bell...
times this season.
No. That Mike Bell did say yesterday.
Yes.
And I quote, "Oh no, it's tomorrow." So I'm going to go with no practice has been done.
What a man. Another man who has driven for a long time in GPVWC and sim racing generally, and is I respect him a lot. Does a lot of karting as well on a very shoestring budget, and which is what frankly racing is all about. Sometimes it's just turning up and doing the best you can with what you got. I like Mike. I've got a lot of time for him. A very friendly figure around GPV.
Usually, until it comes to racing in FS2, and then he gets just, I don't know, he becomes a magnet for, I guess, death and destruction.
Well, if Mike didn't qualify 30th, then he wouldn't be in that position, would he? That's how I see it.
Well, now he's behind everyone, so
it's a
there's less chance of him being hit.
No, it's not the case. That's not true.
Is that not how it worked?
No.
What do you mean that's not how it works?
Because eventually you overtake a few people, don't you? And then you get caught up. I mean, you know, no disrespect to the back of the grid in Formula Sprint 2, but this is the lower end of the grid and the lower end of the career ladder. So, you know, it can be a little bit more frenetic than elsewhere. Let's put it like that.
I think that's the kindest way you could possibly go about saying what you wanted to say there, Toby.
Thanks. Appreciate that.
No, let's be real. That doesn't happen often where you
Oh my god.
you go ahead and don't say it as it is, and quite a few instances like that this season.
I was wondering what you were going to say then.
Oh no! I won't. I won't do it for you.
Good.
That's your job. You're the brutal honesty man here, you know? That's your defined role in FS2.
Well,
It's
I mean,
why-
I try. I do try. It can be a little more brutal than I would like sometimes when I watch it back, but you know, I do also think, you know, sometimes you have to say these things for people to be able to understand what they're doing and improve. But you know, it's how it is sometimes. Here's Mika Hakimi. Now he's a good driver. He certainly is probably, if he put his mind to it, a driver capable of driving higher up in GPVWC, but that has not been the case this season. He's chosen to be in Formula Sprint 2. There's still some spray. Oh, hello. There's still some spray offline as you know, the track dries out. It will be probably dry by the time we get to the race though, and slicks will be on the cars. There's probably some people testing it out now as we speak.
There's quite a few people. Micah's out on the slick tyres currently. There's 10 minutes to try and mess around with things, and if you crash, there's not really much consequence. Probably better to crash here. Why is Raceview lying to me? It has a blue tyre next to Micah, which is for some reason the dry tyre. Ask Raceview, not us. I genuinely do not know why that is the case.
I'm afraid I don't have a direct line to Raceview. What do you mean, Toby?
Yeah, and I was going to ask you if you knew why blue is wet.
Oh, no
Not
idea.
wet.
It seems fairly arbitrary, every decision that Raceview has made, to be honest. Ask Stefan Rowe. What, does he work for Raceview? It's his website, Stefan Rowe's website. Wow, wowzers. I did not know that. I mean, since live races disappeared a couple of years ago, it's I haven't actually seen an alternative, to be fair. There must be some out there. Last summer. Is that when it was? Oh, I thought it was older, longer, further away than that. What am I trying to say? More historic. Yeah.
Longer ago.
Longer, for many years ago, but last summer. I don't even know what happened last week, to be honest, these days. Age.
You're old. We get it.
All right, let me suffer not in silence. 5 minutes to go then. Who's going to win race 1, Alex?
I
Penny.
think that Mike Bell is going to have a massive resurgence from 30th.
I knew
Everyone in front of him is going to die. No, not die. Crash into a wall.
Jeez. You can say any of that.
They're going to crash into a wall and Mike Bell's going to win. That's
Let me tell you.
definitely
Let me tell you what I think is going to happen. I think Eric Strana's going to win. So we're both going Smile Power drivers for different reasons. This is going to be slicks, by the way, and it's going to be treacherous offline. I can tell you that. Fall free.
Can't wait for turn 1. It's going to be absolute carnage.
Yes.
6 cars going to pile up.
Yes.
It's going to be cars from P13 to P19. That's my prediction.
Wow. Fair.
I have no idea who those people are. And honestly, I hope it's not true. But it's Singapore. It's FS2. It's wet. Kind of wet. Anything can happen.
Yeah, I mean, it usually does in Formula Sprint 2. We get some varied nonsense, don't we, in this league? It's a lot
I'm
of
pretty
fun.
sure they just need to update the definition of Murphy's Law to GPVWC Formula Sprint 2.
Yes. Reverse grid is P10. It will rain.
Yeah. That's Murphy's Law is everything that can go wrong will go wrong.
Yes, that is true.
We've had that this season of, Discord
Sprint 2?
deciding not to working.
Yes, the infamous Jeddah dubstep remix. Very good. Falkenhayn. Mikhail Falkenhayn for Reading Game, right? We haven't spoken about him. I don't think I've seen him before either.
He roast. He roast?
He roast?
What? He roast. He drove last race.
Right. So I was obviously not here.
Yes. You see, this is why you should watch the races. Because then you... Oh. Remke de Zieu, with all due respect, but what are you guys on about with Mike Bell / Eric Strand winning race 1? Imagine if it actually works out.
I think Strand's got a chance. He's in P8, 9, something like that. So I think he's definitely got a chance.
I think that everyone in front of Bell is going to crash out and he's going to win.
I think that's very brave. I mean, it is usually a bit of a lottery at Singapore, to be fair. I mean, like, FS1 a couple of seasons ago, I think, was pretty random with what happened here. I think, if I remember correctly, Moritz Kropp span from the lead in 2022. In one of the... Span? Yeah. Josh Downard, yes, that also happened. Was that the season before? 22, was it? Crikey.
Can we rename warm-up to podcast? Just...
I mean, it might as well be. It's Vicentievich going around the corner, and he is on a lap time, and he is...
Never mind, he is going too far around the corner.
Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's... Hello? Did a little booty bounce off the wall and carries on his way.
Oh, that's a big front bounce off the wall. Shimankanda.
Shimankanda for Hunter Birch.
I really want to see someone try go down the inside and just obliterate the car.
Whoa! Who's that
sliding
around behind underneath there?
That will be the other Scuderia Precchianera of Josh Dex. No, that's a Hunter Birch. Who is it then? Charlotte Menning? Yes, it must be.
Yes, must be, yeah.
Yeah. They're sliding. It's
Ooh.
wet.
Yeah, well, it's not. Is it wet? Or
It's
is
damp.
it dry? Is it? I mean, there's defo a dry line for shorties. So I mean, I'd be on slicks if it's not going to rain now. It's not wet enough for wets. If you see what I mean.
Yeah, but there doesn't really seem to be a difference right now. There's still a chance it rains throughout the duration of
There's always a
race
chance
one.
it rains. I mean, it's for sure, but
16 laps, I have to mention, which is a long race.
it's a slow track, isn't it? So
Yeah.
although it's quite short, like I mean, certainly compared to like Spa or something like that, it's a slow track, you know. So yeah, it does take a long time to get through.
So yeah, there's plenty of opportunities for things to go wrong. And I think we'll be seeing some new interesting moments that we've never seen before in FS2 happening at this track in these very particular conditions.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be fun, that's for sure.
Well, it always is. It is Formula Sprint 2. We always have a lot of fun. So let's hope that continues tonight. I always look forward to these broadcasts, to be fair. Whoa! It's very sideways and slippy over the Anderson Bridge, clearly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, nice.
Really done.
Bit of racing room given by whoever that was. Rare.
It is. It is genuinely rare at this point.
Right, warm-up's over. I'll let you read the grid out. It's your turn.
Is it?
What's the matter? What do you mean?
I don't know.
What have you been up
I'll
to
probably
today?
say like row something ridiculous. Nothing. I'm just tired. I've been awake 20 hours now. So
Why?
I decided to go for a nap at 5 p.m. yesterday, and that nap quickly became sleeping until midnight. So yeah, that was unfortunate.
So you've been up since midnight.
Yes.
That's terrible time management, I'm not gonna lie. I don't feel sorry for you at all.
Wow. After the broadcast, me and you are going to have a fight.
Wow. Been offered out for a fight, we're not even got to race one. It's gonna be a
Plenty of
long
time yet.
evening, folks.
Oh yeah, you got 32 laps at roughly, we'll say it's 1 minute 50, even though it's more than that. So that's 110 seconds a lap. Times that by 32, that's 35.20 seconds. So 58 minutes of driving round.
Yeah, plus
The
obviously
second
all the
formation lap
and the dribble in between that we talk.
and warm up, and so we'll be here
Yeah.
probably until
we'll be
10.
Oh, we'll be here. We'll be here still.
Yeah, we aren't going on it anywhere,
No.
unfortunately.
Vince, do you have any facts that you want to tell us so that we can tell everyone the facts? Do you have any interesting facts for us? No, he says. Nothing at all. You got nothing to
Should we
report.
Google fun facts on Singapore while we wait?
Yeah, go on. You do that.
Well, let's do it for kids, since that's your level of intelligence, Toby.
Oh my goodness. Savage. So uncalled for. Come on then, fun facts for kids about
So-
Singapore.
6 million people live in Singapore.
Yep.
Yep. Did you know that 1 Singapore dollar equals 100 cents?
That's not a fact. like every other.
I'm on kidsworldtravelguide.com
Kinaya.
Singapore fact.
Kinaya. Okay.
Um,
Maggio has said that Andrea Kinaya's name is pronounced Kinaya.
Yep. And the national colours are apparently red and while.
While
Yes, that's what the website says.
somebody
Strange.
forgot to cross their T.
Yes. Yes, they did. We've got plenty of time to do the grid. So we'll probably sprinkle in a couple of...
Are people still doing warm-up things? I mean, what's going on
No,
here?
we're on the formation lap, Toby.
Oh, right. Sorry, I missed that bit. I was looking away
Yeah.
at Race View and GPV and Singapore facts. Go on then, do the grid.
Well, I need the grid to pop up first, don't I?
Well, that's on Vincent. He's just messing about.
Right, Matusz Majka took pole, and behind him is his teammate Magnus Ockenhaug, and the National Day of Singapore is the 9th of August. Craig Patterson lines up behind Ockenhaug with Michael Tuamala in 4th. Mika Hakami is 5th with Jonas Kerala in 6th. On the 4th row, Patrick Magnussen and Eric Strand. On the 5th row, it's James Knox and Ben Skinner. On the 7th row is Bobby Vakunov and Philip Savinsky with Danny van den Niet 15th, and Charlotte Menink is 16th. 17th is Andrea Shinaglia, and behind
No,
him
I just
is
told you how
Ike
to pronounce
Youngstra.
it.
Shinaglia.
Kanaya.
Well. 19th was Simon Kando and Josh Dexter behind him. Kurt Rochab, 21st. Johannes Lafitte is 22nd. Caitlin Penny and Victor Silva line up 23rd and 24th. Hussam Manani is 25th with Mihajlo Vicentajevic in 26th. Mike Bell, 27th. Matthias Wittmann in 28th. Michael Falkenhayn, 29th. Christus Vilo, 30th. And Josh Flynn is the last of the drivers. And I need another fun fact to put it in here.
Did you know that the Singapore flag is very similar to the Indonesian flag?
It's almost like it's very close to Indonesia.
Did you know that it used to be part of Indonesia but broke away and became one of the Southeast Asia's 4 Asian tigers?
Did you know the official languages in Singapore are English, Mandarin, Tamil, and Malay? There's 4 of them.
Tamil's also spoken in India. Did you know that? In Tamil Nadu. In the south
No,
east.
but I know that we're about to get racing. Lights are going to go on, and then they're going to go off, and cars are going to drive. Go on,
That's
Toby.
right, that's what I always say. You've stole my line. We're underway. Optimal 1-2 currently. Craig Patterson behind them, snarling in their Priority 1 esports car, looking for a way through. Down the inside, we head into the first couple of corners. Wet tyres have been selected by the vast majority of the front of the grid, but there are some people out on slicks. Keep an eye out for them offline as we head through turn 3 and onto the fastest section on the track. And the moment it looks dry on the racing line, so these wet tyres drivers will be wanting to get off them if that's the case, and already they're looking for some wet patches as Patterson leads that gaggle of cars through. But it's optimal 1-2 and down towards the left-hander they come, and straight on. Oh,
no.
they're around. Patterson's around, and there's someone on slicks who
Hakami.
went straight into them. It was Hakami, because Ockenhaug, it continues through offline, locked up, smashes into Patterson, and those two are going to drop all the way back through the field, Alex.
Yeah, Hakami and Patterson just getting into the wrong place at the wrong time. But that has helped Magnussen here actually get up to 5th. And did you know that Singapore is made up of 64 islands and not just one of them?
Magnussen's on slicks, by the way, in P5, and doing a superb job to keep it on the island right now. But he is battling away with Kerala, the Priority 1 esports driver. I'd love to see what tyres everyone's on. Can you just bring that up for us, Vincent? And just like that, Vincent's going to click a button, and then they are. Magnussen
Wow.
on slicks, Scapelli in P8 on slicks. Lopez making a move. It's clear right now that slicks are faster.
Is it?
Yes.
It-
Look at where
it seems
Magnussen
pretty
is right now.
balanced.
No, look where
Yeah.
Magnussen is right now.
Oh,
They are going.
I think a bit of racing. Never mind.
Piling in behind. Oh, goodness, who's that now? So we got 10th. It's going to be Kanda, isn't it? Piling in on the brakes then, and just made up a bunch of time. There is Vakuinov defending from Kanda who came steaming down towards that corner. Oh, someone's round in the background. We've got Chavinsky slipping around on the final couple of corners. Gloriously named turn 18 and 19 as they head towards turn 1 for another lap. But yeah, keep an eye out on Magnussen. I think he's faster than Carala right now, just trying to find a sensible way through.
Unfortunately, my prediction for the race 1 win is out of the race. Mike Bell retired in sector 1, actually. Didn't even make a sector time.
Yeah.
Magnussen tries for the outside on Carala here, but obviously Carala on those wet tires, able to defend the inside line. Magnussen just... It's going to be difficult to overtake here because he'll have to go onto the wet line if his opponents are smart about it.
Yeah, look how much more grip he has, though, just generally in mid-corner. Yes. He's got much more lateral grip than Carala has in front of him. This is going to come to Magnussen if it doesn't rain. If. It's a big if with a capital I and a strong-looking F as to whether or not those tyres on the wets will drop off and if it doesn't rain. We'll see, but Magnussen should get a good launch off this corner. This is probably one of his better opportunities. There's no DRS in Formula Sprint 2, which frankly has provided us with a mixture of racing quality this season, but it does mean that he doesn't have that tool available in this series. So where it says DRS on the side of the track, that is in the other series if you're new to Formula Sprint 2, and if you are, welcome. I apologise, it's such nonsense here. Magnus Hockenhaug, though, and Mike are very close. Whoa, as Magnussen just leaves it too late on the brakes, and that's what happens. You get offline on those slicks. Going to lose a bunch of time.
Yeah, so it's a very thin line, but we did just cut further ahead to Micah and Hockenhaug, and it seems like they are actually going to battle for the lead. I'm assuming it's not going to be too harsh, and here's 4 cars going side by side. There's a bit of contact between Youngstra and Vakanov. This will, it might end well into turn 1, and it does.
Oh,
Youngstra
well
gets past
done.
2 cars, and a great move there, and honestly, well done for everyone to leave decent racing space for the other cars around them.
That could have been absolute nonsense, but they sorted themselves out very well. Well done to those guys. And Vakuinov on those slicks. Look how much better of a drive he got over Menning and just powered through in the early part of the straight. It's super easy, that one.
Yeah, but like you said, Magnussen's got this superior grip on those slick tires, and he's been able to get past or get back up. Oh no, Hakami's been pushed a bit wide, and I think he clipped the wall. But Menning's on the inside of Van der Niet, and there was a bit more contact there. Fortunately, there was no spinners in this situation. We cut to Magnussen once again, and yeah, that gap between himself and Carala just constantly decreasing on those slick tires, but he just doesn't have the opportunity to get the tiny dry line.
Yeah, well, you say that is widening for sure, that dry line, and as well, the difference in lap time between slicks and wets is about to be seconds, not just tenths. I think Magnussen's already going to make his way by this time around.
Oh no.
And you see what's happened is Carala there with a bit of contact has pushed him onto the wet. He still has, look, see how wide the line is now compared to the last couple of laps? He's still got his outside tyres on the dry. That is easy. Now, keep an eye out on, as Tua Mahler sets the fastest lap, what tyres is he on and where is he? He's on wets in P3. But keep an eye out on Magnussen's lap time this lap. We'll tell you what it is. I think he's about to eat into those front-running guys and their gap very, very quickly.
Yeah, but let's not say anything is given at this point. Those wet tyres could come back into the running if more rain was to drop onto the circuit. Obviously, wet tyres are better on a wet track. But even now you can see just how much Magnussen has closed up already in the last couple of shots. You couldn't even see him at turn 1, and now he's there pretty much in the background constantly. It's about to come round turn 7. You just saw a snippet of Magnussen, and this will be what has happened between Hakami and Patterson. Hakami moves to the inside, tries to get past, I believe that's Lopez, just outbrakes himself.
That's different to what I thought would happened. Oh dear,
Ooh.
Craig.
Yeah,
Not your finest rejoin that, my friend. No, this is weird. It's like Hakimi didn't. I thought he just dive bombed into the back of Patterson. No, well, it's almost like he turned across. Oh no, he did lose it, and it's just yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's unlucky.
Yeah, he just lost it under braking, but Patterson's rejoin there is horrific. He knows better than that.
It's not the worst rejoin we've seen. Mike Bell.
No, it's defo not. Oh my goodness.
Please don't tell me he got squished. Oh.
Oh. Is that Caitlin Penny there as well? Oh no, no.
And that is how you don't rejoin. Unfortunately.
That's both Excellion cars in the mud on the first lap. Absolute savagery.
And Gutt Belly gets.
Oh my goodness.
That was a murder that we just witnessed.
Can I see that on board from the car behind, please, Vincent, please?
Pretty please. Cherry on top.
Please.
Magnussen has actually gone quickest by over a second. Oh no, half a second.
That's
to Micah, and that is
not
an assault.
That's not good at all
battery.
from Lopez. That's I don't like that one bit. That's not very.
There was an exact
Not so
situation
good.
last year in FS1, and obviously the car behind got the penalty for that. Here's James Knock on Eunice Corrala into turn 6, I think. Oh, onto the curbs. But Corrala on those wet tyres just has the better grip, tries to go to the inside, but it's just not happening, and Lopez gets past Eric Strand here.
Yes, Strani.
Look at the sector 1 from Magnussen.
I know, he's just done a purple, he's just done the fastest lap of the race, 51.5. The leader's in the 52s. So definitely better to be on slicks right now. The other thing as well, if it doesn't rain until, like, let's say lap 12, those wets are going to be dead anyway. They're not going to be any good whatsoever. Yeah. So, and you can see Junio Lopez as well has a significant grip advantage right now.
I'd love to see the weather that's on the horizon right now. Whether rain is predicted for the rest of the race, or whether no rain.
No rain.
So
no rain.
Wet tyres here might have been, or probably will be at this point, the wrong strategy call, and it's showing. I say that as Micah sets the fastest sector 2. Yeah,
but of course it is just because it's drying out doesn't mean the wets don't work better in dry conditions necessarily. They will overheat somewhat, but it is nighttime and the track is damp enough you can cool them down a little bit. But that crossover point has already been breached. Magnussen's to the tune of 0.6 a lap faster than the leaders right now, and he's got plenty of time to make that gap up. Yeah, what a move that is by Lopez.
Wow. Yeah, great move.
Sweeps around the outside, watching it unfold. And moves himself up into P6 and will be marching towards the leaders as well. And I predict him P2 for this race now.
Although penalty after that.
Well, let's not call a penalty necessarily. It didn't look great.
It probably will be. Magnussen and Tuamela, though, he's right on the back of Tuamala, I should say.
Yeah, Tuamela's not driving again this season. I can tell you that for free after what happened at Monza.
Banned, so
yes, he's banned. Oh, Lopez! Offline and nearly in the wall. So close, and now he's offline again into the side of Strana. Yeah, not ideal from Lopez, but that's the problem with the slicks. You know, you just can't get through, especially on a especially on a street track like this one. So, yeah, Lopez undoing some good work there. Here's Magnussen. Look how much gap he's got on Corrala. 10 seconds. They were line astern just a couple of laps ago.
Ooh. Tries it to the inside, no grip there, and he thought better of it to try and make a move on Tuamala. I think the strategy for Magnussen here is to try and bait Tuamala into a... he's just going to go for it down the inside no matter what on that wet line. So it doesn't matter what I say, he'll get the move done no matter what. Great move.
Through he goes. Lopez making his way back. I'm sorry. Lopez making his way back through. Lopez! I've not had the best evening this evening. I'm a bit rusty, I think.
Neither of us have.
No, not ideal. Here's Strano, who's got Kanda all over the back of him. And down the inside goes Kanda. And makes that position. Well done to Kanda as he sideways out of turn 1. And back on the inside goes Strana. Through he goes. Does he hold the position? Whoa, side by side onto the back straight. Curtis Philo has just set the fastest lap of the race. He is on slicks, down in 22nd position currently. Has he made a pit stop? No, he hasn't. He did start on slicks, but caught up in some lap 1 stuff, so unable to really make the most of his starting position, I think.
But yeah, if you look ahead,
nothing to say on that.
Ockenhaug and Magnussen, I'm not even entertaining it. Velo sets the fastest lap of the race.
That's what I just.
Oh no,
that
is
Hakimi. This could be this. If they don't press escape quick enough, you've got to press escape much faster than that. That's really ultimately what happened there. Let's have a look at this. But someone came piling in sideways around the around that corner. Then didn't see who it was. Tagged the wall on the way in, and now you have to decide. Oh no!
What? Just what? Oh, and
well, he took his hand off the wheel. Watch this on board. He took his hand off the wheel in frustration after trying to rejoin, and obviously his direct drive wheel's gone left to right. Watch this now. Rather than pressing escape immediately, which was what should have happened, right? I mean, ultimately his race is already over from lap 1 anyway. He can't see anything, but that's okay. What's he doing? And then takes his hand off the wheel. Look at it wobbling. So he's taken his hand off the wheel in frustration before pressing it. That's rubbish, Mika. You got to do better than that. There are other people involved in the race. Just because you're frustrated doesn't mean that you can just whap your hand off the wheel and let someone smash into you. I'm sorry, that's entirely Mika. Look at this pileup he's caused. Look at this. And someone's, you know, Sfilo's lost a front wing. It's rubbish. Sorry.
Yeah, but you have to say some of those were some of the crashes we saw at that same corner were somewhat self-inflicted. And I thought we saw it. Oh, how do you even spin left? You got hit on the right wheel.
That's strange, isn't it? There we go. Well,
Magnussen's got past Magnus Ockenhaug.
Yes.
In the interim.
Yes, he has, and he will be marching up.
Wow.
We're halfway through the race, but he is substantially faster than Micah right now. And of course, Micah does have that lead. I mean, if I was Micah now, I'd probably pit. You know, it's very unlikely that he's going to cling on to first. He's got a nice enough gap. You'd think pitting to slicks and making your way back through from P8 is probably preferential. All of these people on slicks are going to come piling through. They'll be 3 or 4 seconds a lap faster at the end.
Well, we're almost at that point now where Magnussen is a second faster, and it will only improve because Magnussen had a not optimal first sector there. Lost almost 0.4 of a second to Micah. So, yeah, there's still plenty of time for Magnussen, both lap time and the number of laps remaining. So, yeah, this should be pretty clear cut for Magnussen to be able to catch up to Micah, make the move. And I think I agree with you here that the play for Micah is probably to come into the pit lane, get off those wet tyres. So for the most part, anyone that's running high up on those wet tyres should come in to get some slick tyres on, as that dry line has absolutely changed in size. James Knox tries the inside at turn 6, and he's told no. Yeah, unfortunately, not able to get the move done.
Yeah, that is painful if you chose wets at the start of this race, because you're only halfway through the race now, and the problem with Formula Sprint 2 is that the pit stops are not quick. It's quite a long pit lane, like not the longest, but it's quite a long pit lane here in terms of
speed as well.
Yeah, thank you. It's in terms of like delta against an actual lap time as well. So there's like a second punishment there for that, you know. And yeah, it's not ideal. Someone should really take a gamble in that top 10, because fresh slicks at this point in the race would probably be, you know, a further 5 or 6 tenths faster than those who are on slicks anyway. With a 7 or 8 laps to go, as sideways goes Carala, but 7 or 8 laps to go, you're going to make a chunk of that time back up anyway.
Oh, here goes James Knox to the dry line this time. tries to the outside in turn 17, but Koala better on the brakes, and oh wow, Magnussen 2 seconds quicker than Micah this lap, lighting the timing screen up in all different kinds of purple. Well, one kind, but
That's not
it
true.
sounds the best way to say it. Ooh, to the inside is Van der Niet, and gets that move pretty cleanly done on James Knott.
Van der Niet. Van der Niet.
Neat? Okay, well.
This can't be Knight.
Neat.
Yeah, Niet. Long. Yeah, Van der Niet. You always say the second letter in Germanic languages. So
Well,
if it's
I don't
EI, you say the I. If it's IE, you say the. Okay. I'll do all the Germanic names and the Dutch names then. No drama.
Cool. That works.
Cool. Deal.
You're
I'll
better
let you do,
at that than me.
I'll let you do the
Uh,
Italians.
Well, I don't think anyone can do the Italian properly. Oh,
Whoa, Patrick! Look how slidey that is. He is definitely going to win this race if he doesn't make a mistake. This is it's going to be a one-horse race in a minute. I think Micah is best
Pit
bet
lane.
is to pierce
Go.
the pit. Yeah, because he comes out in like probably around 6th, 7th, 8th, something like that.
somewhere around there, but it will be on brand new slick tires and has the grip advantage, has the pace advantage, and it'll probably get, I'd say, up to his teammate if he's careful with it. So it's definitely possible at this point in the race.
Yeah,
But he doesn't.
for sure.
So damage control, I suppose.
Yes. Yes. I think. Well, I mean, I'm just thinking about this. The counter argument to that is that can he cling on to? There's only Lopez and Van der Niet in the top 10 who are on slicks right now, other than Magnussen, of course. So this is going to be like taking candy from a baby, by the way.
I'd say this is probably going to be a bit easier than taking candy from a baby. It's like taking candy from a newborn, in fact.
Wow.
Look at this. To be fair, a newborn shouldn't have candy, and that was steel clubbing that we just witnessed right there.
Yes. Seal clubbing.
Yes.
Savage.
You don't know if I'm allowed to say that.
I mean, I don't know if I would. Oh,
You know.
not a very fun sport, that one. But there we go. Right, so. Oh, hello. We've got a backwards Osama Kanani.
Could not.
I've been excited to say that all day. It's a nice name. Kanani. Osama Kanani. He's stuck on his front wing, I think.
That's unfortunate.
He's doing a superb job of not rejoining in a bad place here. I will give him props for that. Though I would say this is probably a little bit more careful than I would be.
Go! Yeah. At this point, just press escape if you're going to wait this long.
Is he trying to find his keyboard? I guess it's taken so long we're going to watch a replay. What happened to Kanani then? He looks like he's got a bit of crabbing. Yeah.
Curb.
Oh, a different curb. And then on the wet, and then in the wall.
And then.
But then
front wing.
locks the brakes and turns right. And then I think kind of gets stuck. He's probably still there. He's stuck on his front wing.
Oh, he got off it in the end.
Yeah, but then he reversed and then he went forwards, trying to do a 19-foot turn. Confusion.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if we need to watch the replay of him being
I
stuck
think we've
there.
learned enough. That was like the Austin Powers scene. Just watching that.
Yeah, the
back and
yeah,
forth.
back and forth. He is now. He's still in the race. He's 3 laps down in 28th place. Petrol, please go away.
Yeah.
Meow, indeed. The slick runners though. Look, Lopez P4, only 12 seconds off Magnussen. He's going to swallow up those in front of him, isn't he?
Well, you'd say so on those slick tires. He's getting past Ockenhaug as we speak, and I think it's wise to just let that one happen. Lopez has 14 seconds ahead of him to catch up to Micah, and I'm honestly not putting it out of the question as Micah's pace is really slowing down at this point, down to almost the 53s, and Lopez is in the 50s. In fact, 50.0, so it's 3 seconds a lap. I'd say this is somewhat possible for Lopez.
Somewhat possible, I agree. Definitely. Definitely somewhat possible. 4 laps to go. And Micah is doing 52.7s. He's on 50.0. So yeah, it's possible for sure. He's got to do. I mean, there's clearly no more rain, so he's just got to do, you know, basically 4 qualifying laps, 3 qualifying laps, 4 qualifying laps, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, 4 qualifying laps. I can't count.
To be fair, you can't really do 16 minus 13, which is what you'd usually do. So.
Yeah, it's an extra lap on top of that because we've only just started lap 13. It's hard. Maths is hard.
No, R factor lap is difficult.
Yeah, because it doesn't really tell you like 3 to go or anything like that, does it? It'd be nice to have that actually on the broadcast. Note to self.
Hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
Yeah. Vince, sort it out.
I don't care if it's an OBS overlay that you just click.
Just write it on paint on the screen.
Yeah,
just see it appear. 3, 2, go.
3 to go, yeah. That'd be great if we could get live annotations like they do on Sky Sports. Just paint.
Well, they zoom in and circle people and stuff. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Tuamala and Ockenhaug, who's really struggled to keep those wets in decent condition, by the way, compared to his teammate. They're battling away over 4th position at the moment, trying their very bestest to hang on to whatever tyre life they've got left. Love to see the percentages on those wet tyres at the end. I think there'll be some people dangerously close to puncture territory. I don't know what the puncture territory is on these tyres, actually, on wets in FS2. Not something I know of. Or at least, not necessarily punctures, but tyre dead.
0% probably.
I don't know, do they puncture anymore? I don't know, actually. It's never been a problem I've had.
I don't know, I've never stayed in a race long enough for my tyres to puncture.
I tell you what I've not done. I've never let my tyre get to that point, ever.
Exactly.
In a race. So, you know, we'll see. It should be interesting.
Next one.
Yes,
with
well done.
Corolla. I'm going to put emphasis on all the corrections, so I do apologise.
We all know you're trying.
Names, but
oh,
yeah,
Kanda's been round or something. That looked like a recovery flick spin for Shimon. I love the logo for Hunter Birch. It's just a microphone.
Very creative.
I love it. Yeah, it must have been sideways. Whoa!
Curb.
Anderson Bridge.
Good save.
Well,
different curb. Oh, that's unfortunate.
I think these are tyre. This is tyre. Ooh, this is tyre gone territory, isn't it? Such a dangerous place to do a flick spin. That. Well done, Shimon. Here's Joshua Dexter, cameraman in the Academy series. Whoa! Wowzers!
No,
look, he's locked the brakes. Well done. That's exactly what you should do in that situation. Stop the thing from rotating across the track. Now, what's he doing? Okay, dokie. Significantly better rejoin than we've seen elsewhere in this race. Well done, Josh. Good stuff.
I think we need a driver awareness course for rejoin. I think that's a mandatory thing we should have for FS2.
I generally think just
to clarify, that's a joke.
No. Well, I know. Yeah, sorry. I should have. Haha. No, what I think is that I think a lot of people don't consider other drivers, like not just in this series, just generally in sim racing, because there's no consequences, right? In real life, you would never turn your car across the track in front of a car coming towards you, or potentially a car coming towards you. You just wouldn't. But in sim racing generally, yeah, exactly. But there's no like physical consequences for this in sim racing, so people just like do it like it's nothing. Good move, by the way, Van der Neat, using those slick tires, and that car looks dead.
That's
on
a drift.
his feet. Yeah, I think there's a serious chance that some people are going to completely run out of tire by the end of this race.
I'm pretty sure those wet tires are slicks with less grip at this point. Like the tread is completely non-existent anymore.
Yeah, no,
You'd think.
exactly the point I'm making is just
If it was real,
impossible.
that would be.
Yeah, if it was realsies, yes, which is not, of course.
Unfortunately.
But it kind of is simulated, if you like.
Yeah, but you don't see the tread disappear, do you?
Yeah, you might do actually, because the slicks certainly degrade. They show more and more blisters as they go through the race. You can tell kind of roughly what people's wear is like, because at a certain percentage they look like that. Look at the tyre's definitely got less tread on it than it would have done at the start of the race. So it is visually simulated too. It's not I think there's like 5 or 6 different tire models for different percentages. So if you get to 80% or whatever the percentage is, it goes to a different look on the tire. Which so therefore they do show almost slicks actually. Sorry to correct you, but I think it's quite a neat trick that R-Factor does.
Underneath tries to get a second move done this lap on those slick tires. Is
Lovely.
unfortunately unable to do so, and we'll have to wait to do the exact same thing he did to Amala. There's a lot of twos in my sentences. I'm noticing to Amala to do this.
Yeah.
But to the final lap and to turn 1.
Oh wow!
Right. To see, oh, that was close. Vandany, turns a little bit too much on Ockenhaug, but he's still there on the outside, but no move to be. Oh, got a better exit though. Hold on, I should stop talking for just
They're
a
wheel
second.
banging all the way round, aren't they? It's like literally side by side action. It's finally got a bit spicy on the last lap. Vandany clearly is the better tyre for this condition right now than Ockenhaug, who is kind of the cork in the bottle. If he gets overtaken by one, you feel like more than one car is going to get through. And Vandany's going to send it down the inside. It looks like he's got his steering sensitivity set very high. And here comes, so the cork has been uncorked. Can other people get through? Oh, Ockenhaug goes into the side of Tuamala, into the right-hander. Well, that's a lap down, or several laps down. I don't know which Excellion that is. Gets handily out of the way as Ockenhaug tries to come back at Tuamala. James Knox is actually miles behind, so that's another lapped car there that we're looking at. So Tuamala gets through, P5 for him. Let's see what happens in the last few corners of this race.
Yeah, and in a couple of seconds we'll be seeing Magnussen cross the line, but that is relatively insignificant to what we've got going on the screen right now. As Magnussen has taken the win, gone across the line.
Oh, look how close Lopez is. Lopez is right on the back of Micah. Oh, he's just not. He's going to run out of time, unfortunately, for Lopez. Micah crosses the line P2. Lopez P3. Van der Neet is going to be P4. But is Tuamala or Ockenhaug going to take P5? Let's see as they go into the final couple of corners now. Oh, and sending it down the inside goes Ockenhaug. That was a cut. But he doesn't make it, and Tuamala takes that position ahead of him.
And Eric Strane also trying for a last lap overtake on the last corner, last straight thing. Yeah. We've got one more as well, Kurt Rochelle for position 20. In what used to be the Singapore swing. Oh, please. Oh, you kept it out of the wall. Good job, Simon. A lot of good saves today from Simon, actually, I've noticed.
Yeah, I didn't know he was a goalkeeper.
He's caught a lot of slides.
Yeah, he has.
I hate it here. Remind me why I do this every week.
You don't. You do it every 2 weeks.
Well, I mean...
Velo crosses the line 70. I had a Vitman whose name is so long that it has to be compressed on the tower on the left-hand side of the screen. Rotjav in P20 behind Victor Silva. Wow! It seemed like an age, that race, but we've made it through race 1. Race 2 will be a reverse grid, which will inevitably... I mean, it's supposed to be random between 10th and 15th. But,
it's usually 10th.
Yeah, if there was an expected goals stat on reverse grids, it would be P10.
Maybe I should do that during the warm-up, and we'll.
Yeah,
talk
work
about
out how many
stats.
times. It's probably been less than we think, but it seems to have been every single round that it's been P10's been reversed. So here are
Should
the
we have
results.
actual- Yeah.
Sorry. No, go on.
Results.
What were you going to say?
Go on. No, results. Go on.
Okay,
Do
results
it.
then. Results. Magnussen wins for KV86 from Mateusz Micah. Junio Lopez in third place with Danny Van der Neat for Apex in fourth. Good result for him. Tourmala in fifth. Magnus Sunkenau sixth and James Knox behind him for Team RNG in seventh. Jonas Corrala eighth. Eric Strana in ninth place with Ben Skinner rounding up the top 10. 11th place was, oh, hello, Caitlin Penny. This could easily be a reverse grid Caitlin Penny poll. That'd be lovely. Andrea Kinaya in 12th place for Friesland. Johannes Leppert in 13th. Craig Passon in 14th. And Bobby Bakuinov, P15, rounding out the points. Charlotte Menick, Christus Philo, Wittmann, Silva, and Rotiav rounding up the top 20. Then Kanda, Flynn, and Chavinsky, Mihailo Vicentievich finished alongside Dekter and Falkenhayn. Osama Kanani was 3 laps down at the end in 27th place. And then retirements for Tice Youngstra, Hakimi, who I have a bone to pick with, Scapelli, and finally Bell. So
Sorry,
there we go.
I'm currently in a spreadsheet, actually putting
You're
in all
in a
the...
spreadsheet.
Yes,
What?
all the reverse grid positions.
Have
to,
you got? How have you
actually
got easy access to that? Oh, here we go.
I
Oh no, I was looking in the broadcast team chat in Discord and thinking that we we were going to see the reverse grid, but no, it's not the case.
so.
Oh my goodness, Singapore was part of Malaysia, not Indonesia. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, you should be.
Yeah.
It turns out the
Here we go.
reverse grid is actually random. The expected is 12.5, which is in the middle of 15 and 10, believe it or not. So we just have a bias that it's always P10 when it's only been P10 4 times.
What? This season it's only been P10 4 times. Was
Yes.
it P10 locked in the first few though?
It was P10, P10, 15, P10.
Oh, we
yeah.
have to go to a break.
Sorry, then.
Bye.
Bye. Yes.
We're back, and wow, that's an interesting rolly-scrolly thing at the top of the screen that we've got going on there.
This is new.
That was a new thing that Vince has just given us. Thank you.
We're doing this now. Yes. That's how we're doing the grid.
That's yeah. No, he says.
Please, Vince. That looks cool. Don't rob us.
We're at Marina Bay Street Circuit. In case you'd forgotten, we went for a slightly longer break than normal because Vince took forever to get back. Sorry. It's a normal break. So yes, reverse grid, race 2. We are still waiting. We are waiting.
It's 13th.
Oh, it's 13th. Where's that information, sir?
In the broadcast team chat, and it's been posted by Chris Williamson at 2049.
Oh, I have to scroll up because all of you scrubs have been chatting away. We've done an Excel. Well, I say we. Alex has done an Excel spreadsheet for the amount of times that the grid positions have cropped up. The highest frequency ones are P10 and P14. P11 this season has never been a reverse grid pole.
So, what this means is, finish P10 or 14th, and whatever you do, don't finish 11th.
Yeah. So there we go.
There you go.
There you go. Pro tips from the team.
We're helping the drivers now.
Helping.
Yeah.
That's not what I would call it.
It's an important strategy bit of knowledge for.
Oh, Luke Mitchell in the YouTube chat has put Toby do my liveries. Gosh.
Is that like the equivalent of have my children, but for Toby?
What? No.
What? Aww. Shame. Vince, we better have that graphic for the grid.
Yeah, please. Can we have the scrolly graphic?
Aww.
We've been denied. Very firmly. It's a big fat no. In the dulcet German tones of Vincent Gutt.
German humor is no laughing matter, and
I completely agree. Oh goodness me! Right, the grid is currently populating. We're about to go on our way for. Oh, thank you, Roy. Yes, Toby does excellent liveries, but thank you, very kind. Well, off we go to the. Hello, Toby. You are my god. I am love. That's a YouTube comment. I hope you're watching this in 3 years' time because it's meaningless. The live chat is meaningless if you're watching this back on YouTube. Is it my turn to do the grid?
I suppose it is, yes.
Cool beans. Let's go then. Let's whip through it. Janas Lepet is the lucky person to be on pole. Andrea Kinaya is second place. Caitlin Penny, P3, with Ben Skinner, P4. Eric Strana in P5. Eunice Corrala, P6. James Knox, 7th. Magnus Oppenhaud in 8th position. Row 5. Mikhail Tuamala and Danny van der Neet, with Junio Lopez and Matusz Majka. P13, we've got Patrick Magnusson. P14, Craig Patterson. P15, Vakuinov. And 16th place is Charlotte Menink. 17th place is Christos Philo, with 18th is Wittmann for GPVWC Academy. 19th place is Victor Silva, and Kurt Rotjav is in 20th position. 21st for Shimon Kanda, with Josh Flynn in 22nd, Filip Chavinsky 23rd, and Mihailo Vicentievich 24th place. 25th is Josh Dexter, with Mikhail Falkenhayn in 26th, Osama Kanani in 27th place, and Taith Youngstra behind him, Mika Hakimi 29th, Domenico Capelli in 30th, Mike Bell 31st.
That's the first challenge for him, he said. And did you know, despite being only 278 square miles, Singapore has 7 major rivers running through it.
Carter Coleman put that pronunciation of Andrea's last name is crazy. Look, I'm just saying, that's what Maggio told me to do. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying I'm Italian. Maggio is. I'm just gonna copy what he said. Canaglia is, I think, you have to do the hand signal as well. You know, chef
it's like tagliatelle, you know.
Tagliatelle. Domenico Scabelli. I think I'm doing a pretty decent job. Hopefully it's not too offensive.
I'm pretty sure that's just cultural appropriation.
It's just offensive, isn't it?
Are you doing the hand pinch as well while I'm saying it?
Yeah. Oh, good. I'll do a livery for a pack of Skittles. 1 light, 2 light, 3 light, 4 light, and 5 lights are on. Now they're not. And away we go. And Caitlin Penny gets a great launch off the grid. Moves straight up into P2. And sweeps aroand the outside and losing a couple of positions.
Aww.
Straight away off the line is Canaglia. Behind him then is Eric Strand moving up into P5. And James Knox there as well. But at the front, it's Johannes Leppert who gets away well with Penny and Skinner in close proximity. We're looking at Ockenhaug, Magnussen, Micah, those sort of drivers to make their way through. But at the moment, we've got Penny defending from Skinner as they head through. And, oh, Penny turns in on Skinner. Penny on the inside then as they head towards the right-hander. A little bit brave defending that from Penny. Oh, we've got the thing at the top and it disappears again. I love a little voice went, yes! We want the scrolly thing at the top. Bring it back. Everyone comment, bring it back. Hashtag. Anyway, Ben Skinner fighting away with Penny, and this is allowing Leppert to escape briefly, but Caitlin holding on for all she's worth to that P2 currently.
Penny, all she's worth. Are you having a laugh, Toby?
What's wrong with that? I've been waiting to say that all season. It's in my list. It's in my list of things I've wanted to say.
I actually despise you, honestly.
Sorry, Caitlin. Hope you enjoyed that.
I just...
This is how it's going to
be until we get that scrolly graphic back, by the way.
Ben Skinner. Oh, someone's wide there. Who's that? Is that Canaglia? It is, I think. Further back. But still, Leppert leads. Penny P2. And Skinner is on the podium spot. Strana in P4 then. Ahead of Mikhail Tuamala with James Knox in close proximity. It is looking like Micah and Magnussen have not made up that many positions from the start. So it is a long race, as we know. 16 laps around this track is an absolute eternity. If you're still here, thank you so much. Yes, let's see what happens in the second lap as they come through towards the tighter section in the middle part of the lap. And still Penny's defending away. And Skinner runs wide, bounces over the curb. He'll be trying to find a way through. But at the moment, it's just not worth sending a move down the inside of Penny.
Yeah, Skinner cutting it close over the curb there, and didn't do too much to him. We just saw Micah try and make a move up the inside of Magnussen. So we come back to Skinner, who is still there on the back of Caitlin Penny, and will probably have a move going into the hairpin here. And if you're opportunistic, it's very much a place you can overtake. Unfortunately, Skinner is not that opportunistic, and his teammate James Knox, a light tap of the wall. I suppose you could call it a love tap if you really wanted to. Eric Strana is defending from Mikhail Tuamala, who tries to go to the inside. Ockenhaug is falling back, and Lopez also is falling back. And Van der Neat is falling. Everyone is falling back.
Here comes Skinner.
To the inside.
No, Penny defends. And it's doing a really good job of defending. And in fact, down the inside, it looks like, is Strand going to make that move? I think he is, you know. I think he's going to take that position off Skinner, who was just a bit wide through the exit of 19. And there is definitely a bit of a cork in the bottle situation going on here, but that's fine. You can defend whatever position you've got, but 3 seconds to the good. Johannes Leppert in the at the front of the field. He is running away with this one.
Yeah, running away indeed. 3 seconds in 3 laps. At this rate, he'll be 16th by the end of the race. And I'm just going to ignore what has been said in the chat because that is...
Oh my god. You can't say that. Oh, down the outside. Way too late on the brakes is Strana. And unfortunately for him, he's going to... Wow, a big send as well from Tuamala on Skinner, who slams into the barrier. And Penny's got away.
Well, Chris Butcher was just in the chat saying, oh, come on, Strana, do something. And he did do something, just not very positively, off into the runoff for him. And yeah, he's fallen back quite a bit.
That's a lot of curb. That's a lot of curb they're taking into the Anderson Bridge. Now it's completely dry. I didn't realise that. And down the outside, around the outside, and through goes Schmeichel. What a move from Matu Schmeichel. We said they weren't making very many positions up that quickly, but wow, that was a superb one. Flew down the outside.
You should remember, Toby, that whenever you say something in commentary, it is the driver's duty to try and prove you wrong, and Micah very much doing that. Great move there, just after the Anderson Bridge, and I'm going to call it the Anderson hairpin because that sounds interesting and cool, and it's not turn something
13 or whatever it is.
Whatever. Yeah,
unfortunately, Penny has lost a couple of positions whilst we were nattering, and is down to P4 for Caitlin. I really want her to do well this race. But we'll see what happens now. But that reverse grid really showing what it can do really does spice up the action somewhat. But I think Micah will probably fancy his chances to get by pretty promptly. And this looks like it might be another one of those races where he makes some positions in race 2 as well, and potentially extends his championship lead. It's looking good for him right now.
Yeah, it's definitely an opportunity, but he's getting caught in these cars here. And Magnussen, only one car behind Micah here. Micah, quick switch back to the inside. And he's probably quite lucky that space was left there. Not much time for Penny to react to that. So, yeah, that was quite opportunistic. And I think lucky for Micah to be able to hold onto his position and not be put into a wall. But yeah, this is helping Magnussen to catch up here, and I think he's going to try and get past Knox to get on the back of Micah, and unfortunately he has not. Micah tries to stay move around the outside again, but it just didn't work this time. Penny a bit more confident on the brakes than perhaps Knox was, but I think this will be the move to the inside, although Penny is holding on and trying to hold on. But it's sideways. And will now probably lose out to James Knox as well, who's side by side. I think we're about to go 3 wide here.
Yeah, this is brave.
Will never end well.
Well, I think Penny, there's a very, very good decision. I was going to say, very, very good decision from Caitlin Penny there. That could easily be in chaos. And to be honest, I think she'll know she doesn't have quite the pace of some of these other... Whoa, Strana! Strana's gone completely this time. And there looked like there might have been contact. Who's that with him? Is that Kanaya? Kanaya, I think it might be. So, yeah, obviously some side-by-side contact in that final corner potentially. I think we all got our fingers crossed for a Caitlin Penny podium, but it's just not going to happen, I don't think, at this point. But here comes Tuamala, who's caught. So Leppert had a 3-second lead at one point, and now Tuamala's all over the back of him.
Yeah, that 3-second gap just seems to have disappeared in the last couple of laps. Tuamala's got some mighty impressive pace here. Magnussen gets past Knox and Tuamala to the inside in turn 7 and makes the move pretty tidily. A little bit of contact up it. Loses out to Skinner as well, but they're still side by side. And there's still opportunity for a move, but Micah is right behind them. So they need to be careful with what they're doing here to try and, in a way, I don't want to say disadvantage Micah, but make sure that they don't disadvantage themselves as well and lose positions. Micah to the inside at the hairpin, squiggly on the brakes, but is able to get it stopped and able to get it past Leppert. And that was a very, very opportunistic move that worked quite well for Micah. Here's a replay of happened to Shimon Panda. And
yeah, let's see what happened here. I don't know. That's so unfortunate for Kanda there, because once you've gotten round, right?
You can't really do
Yeah, you can't do anything.
And yeah, this is what I'm discovering.
I mean, you've got no front wing at this point.
You shouldn't be
At
trying
that
to
point,
race.
at that point you back out, right, and just keep away from every other car. Porsche Capelli's got probably dark. I mean, I'll say dark blue damage, like you know what I'm on about. But in the UI in the R Factor 2, like severe damage is noted by dark blue. Yeah.
Oh, that explains why Magnussen has got so many positions.
Yeah, that was a bit of a bowling move. What is going on here?
Why?
What on earth is going on here?
Why? Oh, it just gets worse.
Right, on board, please. What on earth is going on here? I mean, obviously, right. I wonder if Van der Neat, right, has been pile drived but from behind, but actually isn't the fault of. Oh, why are you turning left? Why are you turning left?
It's intentional. That's awesome.
And he thinks it's Lopez, but it's not. It's Ockenhaug. Well, Van der Neat's gone from this series as well, hasn't he? I mean, what? And then turns into someone. Come on, guys. There are more than one car involved in this race. You've got to think of other people. Van der Neat, oh my goodness. A complete head loss. Turning down the straight, all the way down the straight into Junior Lopez, I think. And then to boot, after the incident, so he's now got 3 wheels on his wagon because he's smashed into some rejoining cars as well. Lopez tries to go around the outside and turns in on him again. Van der Neat's gone. He's gone. He can't race in the league like that. You just simply cannot. Absolute dribble. I don't.
Can we stop the replacements? Yeah. Let.
Yeah.
Good.
I can't believe I'm watching. I literally missed the last round. The last 2 times I commentated, we've seen 2 drivers deliberately turn another driver. And that one was all the way down the straight. A complete head loss from Van der Neat.
And impacted more than just the drivers involved as well.
That's what I'm saying. It's this, like, not just you and the one other driver involved in that. It's cost completely innocent. For a kickoff, Lopez is completely innocent anyway. He's been pile drived by Ockenhaug. And then he involves like 5 or 6 other cars in that incident and causes problems for multiple other drivers in this championship. Other people completely innocently trying to have fun on a Tuesday night. Pathetic.
Yep, but back to actual decent racing. Skinner's held on from Micah here, and I probably jinxed it now as we're gonna. Oh, we are gonna see a move this time. He tries the outside. There's a bit of contact, but no move to be made this time around. And Magnussen seems to have fallen off the back of these 2 drivers. Micah tries to go for gaps that are not going to exist by the time he gets there. And I think that's a bit of the problem here with him trying to get past Ben Skinner.
Ben Skinner, yeah, same car, same team. I get the confusion. Well done, Micah. Wow. That was a good move in the end. Yeah. Oh, they were trying to get back at him as Skinner, but no, Micah's held on to that one. And I think Tuamala. Hello. There's a track there somewhere, Matouche. I think Tuamala might be in trouble here. Micah is very, very quick right now. Well, It doesn't help if he gets sent into turn 1 by Skinner, but for Micah's race, I think he's looking at potentially trying to catch Tuamala for the win. We'll see. Tuamala's not exactly slow, and I don't mean generally. I mean in this race, he's got decent pace, but Micah definitely the pace setter at this track.
Yeah, Micah is absolutely flying in the upper half of the drivers, the upper echelon of drivers right now. It could be said. Magnussen is actually going quicker, 32.666 in the first sector, immediately beaten by Kurt Rochab. So sectors clearly do not matter that much. James Knox is trying to get past Johan Lepit and is unfortunately unable to do so. Mika Hakimi has had a decent recovery drive up until this point to get up into P10, and I think now would be an interesting time to go through the move deltas. Oh, we could be seeing thought you were about to see a move around the outside
Yes,
onto the Anderson Bridge.
Let's see some upsy downsy green and red arrows, please, Vince, because it's interesting viewing. Because Mike has definitely made up a whole bunch of positions from where he started. Vince, can you press the button on the tower? Thank you. 10 positions. Look at that.
Wow. 19 for Hakimi.
What? That's mad, isn't it? And then, of course, you've got, like, Mike Bell has only made 7 from the back of the grid. He was saying in the chat before the race started, he said he was hoping for back to front. But, yes, not happened for him, unfortunately.
I suppose he was involved in the incident.
Oh, the less we talk about that, the better.
A little bit. Yep.
So someone said that it wasn't actually Ockenhaug, but I mean, I don't know. I don't understand. I don't understand what goes through their heads. Like, it's just, you just gotta keep it screwed on, man. It's not that deep. Just someone's run into the back of you, even if it is their fault. It's not that deep.
Yep. You get slightly touched, and that doesn't mean you end everyone else's races. But speaking of not ending each other's races, James Knox here tries to once again get past Johannes Lepit around the outside in turn 6, and Lepit has much better braking performance compared to James Knox. Knox tries the outside once more in turn 7, but gets shown the wall almost. So, yeah, quite close racing. Sfilo has actually got up to P8. He did start 30th in race 1, so it's a decent recovery over the 2 races, and there's still more time to go in this race.
Yeah, there's yes, we've made it past halfway with the inevitable incidents that race 2 does bring, is complete chaos. We have someone here for the first time in the YouTube chat who said first time here and it's absolute chaos. You're completely correct. It's not all like this all the way through GPVWC, but has been particularly chaotic tonight, unfortunately. We have had some good racing, of course, as well. Some great moves. We saw Micah doing some excellent early moves, and here's James Knox, who also knows how to race, fighting away with Johannes Lepit as they head into the final few corners. Knox trying to set him up for a switch back towards the final corner. Has he got an overlap? No, he hasn't. Through the final couple of corners now then, a double sweeping left-hander and a good exit from Knox. We'll see this an opportunity into the first corner. Can he make a move? No, Lepit defends. So Knox again trying to set up for the switchback, but he now has to be careful. Christos Filo is right behind him, and then of course you've got Hakimi, Carralo and Strana in close proximity doing their best to try and make it through as well. Knox sweeps to the outside, trying to get a better exit as they head through the fastest section on the track and down towards the left-hander. He's going to be side by side in the braking zone. Can he make it round the outside?
Boy, this is about the 6th time of asking for James Knox, and this time he's more confident on the brakes onto the curb, and he will have the inside into turn 7, and this is almost a done deal, but he gets turned in on by Lepit, but that doesn't seem to have affected him too much. But Lepit actually loses out to Sfilo as well, and is about to lose out to Corolla, although Corolla hits the wall, and now is once again re-overtaken by Mika Hakimi. And yeah, this is getting interesting here. Multiple cars in this battle. We're all front wing to diffuser, and that goes all the way back, I think, to about 25th this battle.
Yeah.
And this is for the points as well. So yeah, this is definitely interesting. I count 10 cars there in this little train. It's not even a little train; it's a massive train. It goes
back to 15th because I think Silva is about 9 seconds back of Wittmann, but still a lot of cars involved. And can Carrala defend here? Yes, he can. He makes the move actually. Sorry, from on Lepit, which has left Lepit vulnerable to Strana, who's recovering after quite an eventful round for him. Welcome back to GPV, Eric. Not the best racetrack to do it on, I would say, probably.
That was scary.
Whoa! Yeah, Penny's just lost the braking a little bit into turn 1 as well. Had to jump the curb. So work for her to do. See if she can recover, or at least cling on to some points in this race as Strand goes round the outside. Well done, Eric. And moves up into 12th.
Yes, that is the number next to his name, and he has in fact moved up into it. But there's more to go on here, as Penny is still going to fight for it. I should just stop talking. Penny goes over the curbs and gets pushed out quite wide. The gap between Hakimi and Kerala has decreased, but the gap between Rochav and Lipit has not. Rochav on the inside. Oh, you don't really see a getting done there. Oh, but he's got it done.
It's very tight through here. Is there enough space? Oh!
Wow.
Nearly into the barrier from Strana. Can he get through on the inside of Lepit into the Anderson hairpin, we're calling it now, aren't we? Sideways off the corner goes Rochav. And here comes Penny as well, trying to make a move back on these two in front of him. Sorry. Down on the inside is Lepit. Oh, a bit of contact with Strana. And can Caitlin get back through? She can? Question mark. Still side by side. No
Nope.
thinks better of it. And Strana clings onto that position. But this is a forceful battle as down the outside goes Wittmann very late. No! Oh, no! There was an overlap there. Caitlin probably couldn't see Wittmann there, to be fair, because Wittmann was so late on the brakes and so far around the outside. There was a big old gap between the two cars.
Yeah, I'll be honest there. Wittmann sort of forced his way into a position that didn't really exist. I'm not saying it's self-inflicted, but it definitely didn't help. And we cut forward to Christos Philo, who has Mika Hakimi behind him, who will now be up 21 places by my calculations, which is an incredible result. It almost lasts to middle of the points, and that is exactly where we are. Micah 2 seconds from Mikhail Tuomala, and that gap has been decreasing for the last couple of laps, and the gap behind also has been increasing between Micah and Magnussen, our two championship rivals. And currently right now, as it stands, Micah will retain the lead of the championship. I don't think it's by that much of a margin. In fact, I think Micah will have a slight edge, maybe a couple of points. But that is presuming that in the 4 laps remaining, he doesn't close the gap to Tuomala.
Well, I think that can happen. I think that could happen easily. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, I think it's pace-wise definitely on for Micah. 4 laps is a long old time, and if you look at the lap time, so this lap was best part of 4 tenths. In fact, Micah sets the fastest lap of the race on that lap. 4 tenths. The thing is, there is some slipstream. It does help you get back there. So, you know, potentially it could happen. I think it could happen. I'm doing the maths in my head. But yes, it could happen for sure.
Well, I mean, looking at the lap times, it's about 3 tenths faster for Micah per lap. And 3 times 0.3 is 0.9. So, well, at this rate, that gap is going to decrease even faster as Micah will try to get the edge over Tuomala in the last couple of laps. And I think he very much will, within the slipstream range now, around about now at least. He's going to be catching onto the back of that pushed out air, as I'll call it.
Pushed out air?
Yes, that's what slipstream is. It's the absence of air because another car has pushed it out of the way.
It's not the absence of air. It's a
Well,
low pressure
of air.
No, it's a low pressure current.
Look at Toby Davis.
Is that what I sound like to you? Trying to inform you. Purple
Yes,
middle
it is.
sector from Micah on this lap, by the way. Magnussen set a purple first sector, so times are still tumbling as they dumbling. They drain the fuel, and Tuomala made a big mistake there. He's a bit wide of the apex, not actually that time costly. But Micah is creeping into that 1 second no air barrier gap. The cars just delete the air.
Yes. In terms of R factor, they do. So. You know,
Oh, sure, yeah.
they just have a like there's a box that gets put behind the car as they drive around, and if you go inside that box, the amount of drag on the front and rear wings decrease.
Sounds right
Fun
to
fact. There you go. That's how games work with Slipstream. If you wanted to know, that is. Interestingly, your handler pit has dropped down to 22nd.
Yeah, something's happened.
strange.
Yeah, something for sure has happened there. I'm looking. There's not a closer battle on track than this one, apart from Sphilo and Nox, who are about to be side by side, I believe, looking at the gaps there for 6th and 7th. But obviously, we'll want to keep an eye on this first place battle. It's all calmed down a little bit, hasn't it?
Yeah, that's unusual to say, although our metric for comparison is
Yeah.
a bit too hectic for my liking, but Micah has definitely got this sealed at this point, unless he makes
Wow.
a major mistake.
I mean, catching's one thing, overtaking is quite another. He's got to actually get by Mikhail Tumala, who is no slouch.
Why are you moving the projector, Vincent? Stop it.
You can't see that, but there's an overlay on our monitor, and there was a big old word in the middle of the screen that said projector output, which was nice. But we can now. Oh, here comes the other cat to harangue me. Tuamala is going to cling on. It's not exactly closing as quickly as I thought it would. By the time Mike had got to him, he's only taken a couple of tenths on this lap out of Tuamala. So not what he needs to do. If he's going to get, he's got 2 laps left to make the move.
You have done the arithmetic correctly this time, Toby.
Yeah.
And fortunately for Tuamala, there is a lapped car there, which means slipstream for him down most of the straights. Sorry, no air zone for Tuamala down the straight. So that should keep the gap to Micah relatively okay in terms of slipstream advantage. Obviously, Tuamala will have less of it because the lapped car has to get out of the way with blue flags. Usually they do. Usually. That is a big usually. Multiple asterisks.
Asterisk. We have had so much trouble with words today.
Asterisks on either side of that. So this should be interesting in the last couple of laps.
Micah just hasn't quite got enough, has he? He just has not quite got enough to get close enough to make that move. He's kind of waiting for a 2-mile mistake. I wonder if he's gone too hard on his tyres, actually, to be fair. Trying to make this gap smaller at this point.
It's not out of the question that Micah has overcooked the tyres and reduced their grip significantly. He does seem to be struggling in the corners behind Tuamala, and I don't know if that's a result of dirty air or the fact that Micah just doesn't have grip. I'm going to go with it's a bit of a combination of both, because Micah has been pushing really, really hard to be able to catch up to Tuamala at the rate that he has.
Yes.
And we're on to the last lap now. So very few opportunities left. Mika Hakami, to the outside of Philo.
Oh, well done, Sphilo. Yeah, that was Hakimi on full opposite lock there, trying to control the slide. This is one of the last 2 opportunities that Micah has. Tuamala trying to break the slipstream. They're coming up on a lapped car. It's probably Kanda looking at the gaps involved, yeah. But Micah, Tuamala's put himself off into the braking zone. Kanda doing a great job again. Well done, Shimon. Fantastic.
Yeah, not the conventional way of doing it.
No, it certainly cost himself a bit more time, but I mean, I suppose if you're 111 seconds down or whatever he is, then
you've got plenty of time to spare.
Yeah,
could be said.
Obviously, been involved in the wars overall.
Involved in the wall
in
as
the
well.
walls and the wars.
Yep.
So a couple more opportunities then for Micah. It's going to be now or never. He is championship leader, doesn't need to make this move, may settle for second as a result. But Tuamala is currently in that position that he is trying to get through into first place if he can. But I think he's going to run out of laps. He's going to run out of opportunities. There's probably one more passing point, which is here. Tuamala's going to round the right. If he missed the apex by a fair old whack there, but last 2 corners, Micah's right on his tail. Can Tuamala hold on? 2 corners left. He can. Tuamala wins for Scuteria Cap Clay.
Cap.
That's Cap Clay. And Micah P2. Patrick Magnuson comes through the field. P3 for him. Can Hakimi get by Svilo in the last couple of corners? He's trying, but doesn't look likely. Svilo's going to hold on for that 7th. 4th was Skinner. Vakuanov 5th. James Nocht. Oh my goodness.
Do you have a
James
list,
Nocht.
Toby?
For lift again. James Nocht is 6th. I think Hakimi did that deliberately, personally.
Yeah, it could have gone badly.
No points for style in this league. Sorry.
Nope.
Nope.
I mean, it's better than crashing into the wall before the finish line.
I'm not sure it is.
Really? I mean, getting 0 points for style is better than getting 0 points because you destroyed your car, you know?
Kanani. Osama Kanani. 18th place. We watched him cross the line. Yeah. That was a race.
Yes.
Less said about some of it than better, quite frankly.
Certainly. But Mikel Tuamala does get the race win.
He does.
By a slim margin, it has to be said.
Has he had one this? What? Has he won another race this season?
There's more than 28 races at this point. I do not remember all of them.
Boy, that's your job. Let me have a look. Tuamala is 3rd in Spain. Is his best result.
Okay.
So this is his debut win. What did you say, Vince?
I don't have a spreadsheet.
I do on the GPVWC website. If you head to gpvwc.com and click the competitions button, then go to Formula Sprint 2, you can click the standings and see what happened. Let's do the results. Alex, it's your turn.
Is it?
Yeah.
Ah.
Oh. Yo.
Oh. This is results. Tuamala takes the win with Micah 2nd on the podium. Magnuson last of the podium finishes. Ben Skinner finishes 4th. Bobby Vakuanov 5th. James Knox 6th. And Chris Espilo, decent recovery drive from 30th. 7th race to 7th in race 2. Mika Hakimi, a great recovery drive in race 2 up to P8. Yunus Kerala is P9 and Kurt Rochard finishes P10. 11th is Eric Strane, and behind him is Thijs Jungstra. 13th is Caitlin Penny. 14th, Mark Matthias Wittmann, with Charlotte Menink last of the points finishers in 15th. Andrea Shinaglia in 16th, with Domenico Scapelli in 17th. Usama Kanani in 18th, with Victor Silva 19th, and finishing in 20th place is Halo Zenderhave. Josh Flynn is 21st, with Johannes Lepit in 22nd after a late fallback down the order. Mikhail Falkenhayn 23rd, with Simon Kanda finishing 24th. Mike Bell, after his first attempt, finishes 25th. And the non-finishers, Juno Lopez, Philip Savinsky, Craig Patterson, Magnus Ockenhaug, Danny van der Neet, and one more in Joshua Dexter. And that is your race result.
Well done. The positive is you never have to say Van der Neet ever again.
Yeah, I suppose so. I learned the pronunciation for nothing.
Let's speak to some people. Oh no, let's first talk about United States Grand Prix, which is next up on the 15th of October. But first, there will be some more rounds here at Singapore. The next one will be Thursday, and that will be Formula Sprint 1.
And then Monday.
Academy. Yes, that should be fun. And then we have Superlights Tuesday, and the following Thursday will be Super League.
We have more views than Super League, by the way.
It's us. It's
on average.
It's you and me and Vince with
me
the dream team.
and Toby are epic.
And Vince.
Sorry.
Yeah, Vince is part of the squad. He's the silent captain.
He's our comic relief when we're actually getting depressed by the.
Standards.
Can we have the scrolly one?
Next time we want the scrolly one though.
Yeah, we want the scrolly one.
Yeah. Interview time. The first person I'm going to interview is Junio Lopez. Hello.
Hi.
The reason I brought you in here is I want to know what your thoughts were on race 2.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of the big point here. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm gonna tell a story. I think I'm not gonna like say start in the middle when I think I need to give it some context. So basically, I was behind Danny for like 2 laps, been trying to pass him, being aggressive, not touching him properly, but being aggressive, trying to pass him. Then going to turn 13, what happened was I tried to go for a dive bomb. But then behind me was Patrick Magnusson, also going on the dive bomb on both of us, which didn't quite work out since he hit me and then I hit Danny, and that's what made him, I don't know, a bit on the edge, let's say. And then I think everyone knows what happened. But
Yes.
yeah.
Did I say Magnus Ockenhaug on the broadcast? Is that what I said? And I meant Patrick Magnusson. I might have done. Sorry, guys. Yeah. So not ideal, but yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, obviously not. Oh, I can hear myself back and I can't talk. Sorry, Unio.
I'll just mute.
Thanks. Yeah. So overall, not the best race 2 for you. What are we thinking for the next race? Obviously, USA Grand Prix in a couple of weeks.
I mean, we are going off as a team. We are going off a win, so maybe another one. Hey.
I like it. I like your confidence. Alex, anything for Mr. Lopez? Oh, how can you tell me how you say your name, by the way? Can you just tell me your name?
Oh, in Portuguese.
Yes.
Júnior Lopes.
Good. Good grief.
It's not
I've been
Lopez.
It's not Lopez.
Yeah.
Well, he's been
Okay.
saying Lopez, so you know. It could be worse.
Júnior Lopes. Okay. I'll do
Yeah.
that from now on. Cool. Cool. Anything for Júnior? Alex?
No.
Okay, goodbye. We're going to talk to someone else. Thanks for talking to us.
Yeah, see you guys.
Oh. So Toby has disappeared into the interview room,
I didn't mean to do
presumably
that.
to pick someone out.
I didn't know. I tried to move Júnior out and just
You're
move
an idiot.
myself. Who should we talk? Should we talk to? You're
We
an
interview
idiot.
you as to what your psyche is doing right now.
Sorry, you're an idiot.
Yes.
I got one.
Oh,
Here's one.
Here's Patrico.
hello.
How are you?
Tired. Pretty long race, to be honest. I think it's the longest race we have here, right? On the calendar. Because
Yes.
60 laps and
Like
very long laps.
20, like 30 minutes each race. So yeah, pretty long.
Yeah, Jesus. I was counting laps until it was finished. Literally.
Us too.
Yeah.
Jesus. So I was commentating. Good race, fun race.
Oh,
Right.
yes, so much fun.
Yeah, including the problem that you caused.
I caused. No,
So basically, you went into the back of Loops.
Yeah, because he moved in front of me.
Yeah, and then he hit. What's his name?
He hit Danny van der Niet, and then Danny van der Niet was like, hey, let me go full lock
Yes,
left.
exactly.
And
So
Full lock left is
cool.
exactly what it was. It was
Yeah.
craziness. He just drove sideways down the straight until he span
I
it.
don't understand how they went so long without like going, sideways. It was like a good 3 seconds before they started going sideways. On the
longer, you know.
straight. Yeah, longer. I
That
was
was impressive.
rewatching it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, absolute savagery.
Oh yeah.
So race 1, obviously, that was good.
Yeah.
But
Um,
do you have any reflections for race 2? Anything you could have done better, or?
Race 2 was a bit of a messy one, I guess. The car didn't feel good at all. When I had cleaner, I was not lapping. I think not close to what I was doing in practice. I think it was something to do with the wings because we were going like 242 top speed. We had like really low wings. That's why it was pretty easy to overtake everyone in race 1.
That's interesting. I didn't realize that you could run such low wings here. To be fair, I mean, I know there's a couple of straights and stuff, but it's not exactly
Yeah,
yachts.
it's all to do with the rear and blah blah blah. Rotating around the corner. It's a pretty fucked up car.
Please don't swear.
Shit, sorry.
This is the
Oh,
second
much
incident
better.
in the interviews.
Much better.
Second time. I think third time this season, actually.
Me?
Yes. You've dropped an F-bomb at least twice.
I mean,
We're just
was still
going to blacklist you from interviewing.
Oh shit. Right.
Right, goodbye. Thanks for speaking to us. I can't do any more of that. This has been absolute chaos this evening.
Oh, goodness. It started like this before we even started the race.
Yep,
Of just
for sure.
constant laughter.
Right, I don't want to do any more. I'm done.
Yeah, that's enough.
Vincent, how was your evening? Yes.
The answer. That is the most German answer I think I've ever heard.
Have you had fun? Have you had fun, Vincent? What do you mean?
Oh, he's gonna have a
he said you should ask Chris
writing this
Butcher what
report.
you think about this round. I mean, it wasn't the best, was it? Let's be honest.
We're gonna have an essay instead of a
It's
report
so hard.
list.
I really want to love everyone in Formula Sprint 2 and just speak positively all the time, but it's sometimes such absolute rubbish.
Yeah.
I love you all dearly. I really do, and I'm glad you're here having fun. Hopefully everyone watches this and has fun. I know we can't hear Ed. Ed is just, but we
Well,
can't hear
I
Vincent,
hope we
by the
can't
way.
hear Ed.
Well, that's half the fun.
We could make Vincent say whatever we want him to.
We can, yeah. Sometimes I ask him and then say the opposite of what he said. Right, let's go. I want to do something else with my evening now. Hope you've had a nice time. I've been Toby Davis.
I've been Alex Foulkes.
And on camera has been Vincent. Thank you again. We love you all. Be back here in 2 days' time for Formula Sprint 1. Or if you just watch this series, be back in 4 weeks' time for USA. Until then, goodbye.